Welcome back. Welcome to a new season of the AJ Sports Podcast. We are finally back, September 2025. We are here. Iceman's going to roll out soon. What
Yeah.
leaves are starting to change color. Justin's in his new place. You already know the vibes are different. My setup's moved. We're in the OVO slash everything. You know,
Yeah.
Leafs, Raptors, everything. This is OVO. Shout out to my good buddy
Uh,
who gave that to me.
we're also champions.
We're also champions. Carboni Stallions, Team Grey U. Trophies up there. Two championships out of 3 years. We're like the Florida Panthers in this place. But welcome back to another season. It is time to talk about hockey. Finally, we are finally back talking about hockey. We have become more of a hockey podcast, it seems, but it's just our favorite thing in the world. Fantasy's coming up. The regular season's coming up. I'm going to start playing men's league. It's just a good time in September, October. Justin and I are going
Yeah.
to see Detroit, Toronto. We're seeing the Red Wings for the
Yeah.
Leafs on Thanksgiving, so that's going to be exciting. We managed to get some tickets. But welcome back, everybody. Justin, say what's up to the people. What's going on?
Hey, good, bro. New crib. Just vibing out. New season of the pod. New fantasy hockey season starting up. You know, everything's great. We watching Blue Jays right here, but behind the setup right now. So, everything chilling, bro. Let's start talking about the new season, bro. Because, bro, this new season is gonna be hype as fuck, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro. Especially with a lot of these guys, going into free agency, probably. Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah. They
yes,
they go. Yeah, and we already saw today about what is happening
we
with one
we,
of those
we,
guys.
we will talk about it. But
Because,
first,
cause my goodness,
but first, all right. So let's get into it. The first thing we want to talk about is what happened this summer. Where was all the hockey news? We have this is one of the quietest summers I've ever seen. As soon as the Marner fiasco happened, I haven't heard a single thing up until September. I like we were expecting a summer full of trades, maybe some like bigger signings, people getting taken quicker. And this summer, like it was really quiet. Like, a lot of free agents coming up next year. You'd think with the teams that they're on, they would extend, especially a really big one, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But, it's been a very quiet summer for a lot of these teams. Like, I was expecting some of these guys to make some moves. Like, the Penguins with Crosby right now, there's things like that going on right now. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Oilers soon. But, like, Justin, why do you think, like, nothing's happened? Like, have you felt the same?
yeah, I have. I think the only reason why nothing is happening is because I think all the GMs are looking into next year, and I mean everybody can see all the big name free agents that are going to be heading into free agency next year, unless they sign a contract, this season coming up. I think teams are trying to save their cap space. I think teams are looking ahead and be like, yo, next year's 2026 free agency class is going to be absolutely star studded, and they're thinking for the future, bro. So I'm like, I think everybody's disappointed that this offseason was kind of lackluster, but I think it just makes it for a more exciting offseason coming up after this 2025 2026 season.
Right. I'm just looking at something here. I'm looking at the like the Kaprizov thing. It just came up, but yeah, you're right. It's fair. A lot of like next year is the big year. We already expected this year not to be a big free agency year with the big names like Ehlers, Marner, and Rantanen already being dealt early on, especially Rantanen throughout last season, right? So we were kind of we weren't expecting like a lot like a very quiet summer, but it happened, and I'm just it kind of blows my mind, but at the same time, I mean, it only gets me more excited for next year and what's to come because we have a stacked free agency lineup next year. Like it's insane. Next year will probably be one of the biggest free agency days in NHL history.
Oh,
But because the
yeah.
uncertainty of how many people, like of how many of these guys are actually going to remain with their teams, especially these two we're going to talk about next. So it's exciting, and we are definitely here for it, especially when it comes to this next player we're going to talk about now. Well, two of them. Let's move on. Kirill Kaprizov reportedly rejected an 8-year, $120 million contract. He would have been paid the highest. He would have been the highest paid player in NHL history if he signed this contract. And he rejected the GM Bill Guerin of the Minnesota Wild. He rejected their offer. Wow. I mean that he's got the balls to turn down the biggest contract in NHL history. That could mean a few things. One, he wants more money from the team, or two, he doesn't want to stay with that team. Now, I'll say my piece, then I'll let you say what you got to say about it. But I think he doesn't want to play Minnesota anymore. It's a small market team, and he doesn't see the team winning a Stanley Cup in the future. I don't see it. There's too many good teams in the West, and I feel like the Minnesota Wild are not in a good position where they can win now or even rebuild. Like, do they have a lot of prospects coming up the lineup? I don't think so. They have Marco Rossi, but they don't really have a lot of, because they've always been in the middle, right? They've never been a division leader. They've never been top of the league. They've always been third in the division, and it's been the case for a couple of years now. They've never been a team that like, oh wow, we got to worry about the Minnesota Wild. These guys have not been that great of a team. And for Kaprizov, I mean, he's developed his game tremendously. He's become one of the league's top players, top scorers. And to me, it seems that he feels he can win and probably get more money somewhere else playing with a better team or a team that's on the come up, like where I think he might go the Chicago Blackhawks, where he can get paid and go on a winning team. Now, what do you think? Why do you think Kaprizov rejected this deal? Because I think he just doesn't want to play Minnesota anymore. It is a small market, and to me, they just don't. I don't see them winning in the next 10 years.
Yeah, I don't see them winning either, and it is a pretty small market. Now, granted, last year before the injuries happened, the Minnesota Wild were one of the best teams in the league to start the season. Um, Again, they do have a really good team, but I just don't think it's that tier of of a great team like the Colorado Avalanche, like the Vegas Golden Knights. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of like a tier below, a step below. You know what I mean? So hold on one sec.
But to me, it's felt like they've been in that bottom tier for a long time. They haven't like progressed and moved forward in that sense. They've just been the team that's like finished third or like maybe made wild card. Like last year they made wild card, and then a couple years ago they came third. So to me, they've always been middle of the pack, right? And it's just unfortunate, especially with a lot of like the talent that they have, like Kaprizov. So I understand why he might not want to stay with that team, but
Yeah. They're kind of just always there, but they don't really make a step forward. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of just like middle of the pack. And I think Kaprizov knows that he's too good to play in Minnesota. And honestly, but who knows, right? He could potentially maybe look for a team friendly deal so that he could help the team, get better players. Maybe he does want to stay in Minnesota, right? Maybe take a pay cut. But I kind of agree with you that I don't believe that he wants to be there, and he probably wants to go somewhere else, probably to a bigger market, because Kaprizov is arguably top 10 player in the league. So it's tough for Minnesota Wild fans because I think they know that, like, okay, he probably doesn't want to be with us for a long time, and this could potentially be his final year in a Minnesota Wild jersey. But I don't know. I think we see him in a different uniform next season in 2026.
where
Um,
Blackhawks is sounding pretty good to me.
Chicago makes a lot of sense. They have cap space. They're on the come up. Bedard, big market. You know what I mean? I mean, it just screams Kaprizov. And again, remember, let's not forget, Panarin used to play in Chicago, Russian player. I could see Kaprizov, Russian player, playing in Chicago. It just fits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a few teams. I'd see him in one in the West. Well, two in the Western Conference. One would definitely be like a team like the Chicago Blackhawks, an upcoming team. Another, Utah. Utah are looking to build their team, and I think Utah might be a spot for him. They don't really have a lot of like top end talent, as you could say. So I think Kaprizov could bring something to that, especially because they just came into the league, right? And in the Eastern Conference, a team like the Detroit Red Wings, I think, would benefit with a player like that. They've got their core and Larkin, Raymond, those guys, right? But
Sure.
I think they would. I think that they could probably afford a top end player like Kaprizov. So I could definitely see him in a Red
Yeah.
Wings jersey as well. But
All
we will see. That is
right.
next. That is next year. Speaking of next year, I want to talk about. We got two more players, and then we're going to preview the Pacific Division. Sidney Crosby. he has been in the news pretty recently, especially after Pittsburgh has not won the cup, or sorry, made playoffs in the last 3 years. His agent had some pretty, some pretty interesting words to say. Something along the lines, don't quote me on this, or I'm trying to remember what he said, but it was basically the one thing that stuck out to me was Sidney Crosby is here to play playoff hockey. It was something along the lines of that. And ultimately, it seems to me that it's Sid's decision to leave. I don't think Pittsburgh's ever gonna go up to him and say, "Hey, we want to trade you." I think with what Crosby has done to deserve this treatment, which he has, he's stuck. He's the face of the Penguins, other than Lemieux. He's definitely on Mount Rushmore for Pittsburgh. Arguably a top 3 player of all time in the National Hockey League. I think Crosby has cemented his legacy where he can make those decisions. Now, I don't know if he can win in Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh wants to rebuild. I don't think Crosby does. I don't think they see eye to eye. And that's, I don't see them making the playoffs this year. Well, when we preview the Metro, you'll see where I have them finishing. But I don't, considering Crosby is getting older, I'm not going to say it's selfish, but I feel like if he wants to win, and the team is going another direction, I get you want to be a Pittsburgh Penguin, but I think you have to leave the organization. I think if you want to win, you go somewhere else. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Sidney Crosby is one of the only few select players that you kind of have to listen to as manager, and you let him decide what he wants to do. If he wants to stay, you know what? Crosby, he's done everything for that organization. He's brought them 3 cups. If he wants to stay, I do believe that you just let him stay. But if he wants to go, and if he says he wants to go to a specific team, I think you should do everything in your power to ship him off to that team that he wants to. Because again, it is one of the greatest players of all time, and arguably the greatest player of our generation. Crosby, I don't know. It's really tough to see him in a different jersey because we never seen him in a different jersey, right? In a different hockey jersey. So I don't really know what to think.
You said the same thing about Brad Marchand, right? And look at him in a Florida Panthers jersey.
Right? That's the thing, right? But I don't know. This is so tricky because I really don't know what to think about Sidney Crosby. Do I see him going to a different team? No. Does it make sense for him to go to a different team? Yes. And I know it would break a lot of Pittsburgh Penguins' hearts to see him in a different jersey, but if Crosby wants to go for that 4th cup, let him go for that 4th cup, bro. And you cannot, you shouldn't stop him. If he wants to go, just let him, because he's done everything for that organization. As I said, he's loved in Pittsburgh. He's a hero in Pittsburgh. It's like what more can you ask from Sid the Kid? He's come back from multiple concussions. He's brought titles. That's the boy right there. That is
I understand.
One of the goats.
I understand that, but if the team is but Crosby cannot expect the team that's looking to rebuild to trade all their prospects away just for him to win a Stanley Cup. You know what I mean? For me, it's just I don't know. Maybe it's a bit selfish, maybe, but at the same time, it is Sidney Crosby, right?
Crosby should know that this team is not good enough to win the cup.
Exactly. I think he's got an understanding. But if he wants to if he wants to stay and make playoffs and compete, that's not going to happen in Pittsburgh. He should know that based off the last 3 years. So if he wants to go get his cup, I think he needs to leave. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to sell all their assets and buy players to help them win in Pittsburgh. It's just teams that their run is over, right? They're now going into rebuild. If I'm Sidney Crosby and I want to win, I'm leaving and I'm going to 2 teams, especially this one team that I would love, the Colorado Avalanche, to go play with this boy McKinnon, or what's been rumored, the Montreal Canadiens. I'd love to see him in a Habs jersey, but I don't know. It was his childhood team. He's got history with the Canadiens. He loves playing at the Bell Center. He said it about 4 Nations. He said it about playoffs. I don't know, man. Those are the only 2 teams I can actually see him going to. I literally cannot see him going anywhere else. Florida, out of the question. The Rangers, out of the question. Any other team besides it's only Colorado and Montreal for me, for him to go to.
Are Rangers out of the question?
I don't know. I don't think I think he only goes to a team that like he has history with, or like because like he's boys with McKinnon, right? He's gonna want to.
Yeah,
They always talk about they do camp together every summer, and then with Montreal, he grew up a Habs fan. He loves playing there. There's no other connection to any other team besides those two teams for me.
but why not the Rangers? He's boys with Sullivan.
I forgot about that. Sullivan is coaching the Rangers, so
And what have we talked about with the Rangers for the past couple of years? What is their issue?
center. But I don't think a 37-year-old Sidney Crosby is gonna lead the Rangers to a Stanley Cup as the number one center. Like I think at this point in time, he's gonna start to slowly Well, I mean, we'll see. He sent the kid, but who knows? Like I see him as like a second line center in the next like 2-3 years.
So do you think JT Miller could be that first line center for the New York Rangers? Is Sidney Crosby second line center?
It could happen. You never know. It could happen. I don't know. That's the thing. For me, the Rangers for me are out of the picture. I just don't think he can go. He's going to go to that team. A team like the Habs, where they're up and coming and they're close, like they're getting there. They have all these young pieces, and for him to be the one to lead and help these young guys go towards that, I think he would fit great in their system, especially as that support guy for Suzuki and all these young other players coming up. For me,
Yeah.
like if he wants to win right now, go to the Colorado Avalanche. If he wants to win, maybe like because I think if he comes to the Habs, the Habs could win a Stanley Cup in like 2-3 years. Honestly, if he comes there, I can see it. I can see it. Call me crazy.
Bro.
The team's up and coming, man. They're gonna do really well, especially with Sid on the team. We'll see. But right now, I think it's best he goes to Colorado if he wants to win a Stanley Cup, play with McKinnon.
Yeah, I mean, it is the best player in the league, so why not? Like, it is Colorado. So Colorado are like making the playoffs like every year, so and they're like one of the best teams in the league. So like it seems to be like every year. So I mean, it just makes sense, right?
Like I think him.
Right.
Imagine a line of Crosby, McKinnon, and Natchez. That would be amazing. That would be a crazy crazy line right there. But
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you expect to happen? Like what do you think? Do you see him leaving?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't really think I don't think he leaves. I just don't see it. I think he stays in Pittsburgh Penguin. But if he does leave, I think it's going to be either Colorado, Montreal, or a dark horse, the New York Rangers.
Interesting. Interesting. The last player I want to talk about, Connor McDavid. Now, this is something I said you might. I don't know if you're gonna like, but there has been like this summer with his press conferences, especially in recent days and weeks. He might not re-sign in Edmonton. Now he's been on camera saying it could be short term, long term, or no term with his extension. What is like? I mean, if I'm an Oilers fan, I'm freaking out. The guy has done everything he can for the organization. He's hit 1,000 points in very few games. Probably, I think, is like the fourth or third fastest player. It was in the top five, I think. He's arguably one of the greatest players to ever touch the ice. He brought them to 2 back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals. Well, I mean, without because I feel like he's given the Oilers everything. I don't think the Oilers have given him everything back. They still need a goalie. Like, I think McDavid's like really assessing his team and thinking like, I don't know if I can win with this group. Because if he was very confident in this group going back to the final, then I think re-signing, like having that extension done, would be no problem. But obviously, he's willing to test what other teams can give him. He's looking at what I think makes the most sense for him to go, and that's the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's his hometown. He was literally 10 minutes from my house in Newmarket, playing beer league with Draisaitl. He lives in Newmarket. He's downtown all the time in Toronto. He's here. He's always around. What's stopping him from coming to Toronto if they have the money? That's what I don't think they have. That's what I don't know. I don't know if the Leafs have the money to sign him because McDavid's probably going to sign the most expensive deal. What do you think, Justin? Does McDavid re-sign in Edmonton, or does he come to Toronto, or does he go somewhere else?
I think he's had enough with Edmonton. I'm gonna be completely honest. I just like how do you look at a team make back to back finals, lose back to back finals, and think, yeah, we're gonna make it again this year. They really haven't made any upgrades this offseason. Like, let's just be for real. Like,
They've actually
they've
lost
lost,
pieces. They lost Perry. They
they
lost Brown,
lost,
Skinner.
like
Like
they've lost. Um, and just off the McDavid thing, Stuart Skinner talking about, oh, I want to be Team Canada goalie, dude. Just stop, bro. Like, it's not happening. Okay, Stuart Skinner, you're trash, bro. Don't even, bro. You're not even the same. You're not even in the same conversation as Jordan Binnington, bro. So please, enough with that. But back to Mixell. Mixell is probably not resigning. Okay, Oilers fans just gotta accept it, bro. Okay, and you guys just gotta keep coping on Twitter, bro. Just like how you guys have been trying to cope with back-to-back Stanley Cup losses, bro. Oilers fans are gonna keep crying, and that is perfectly fine. They deserve this. Okay, Mixell is probably not gonna resign. He's already said there's multiple options on the table, and one of his options is no term, which means not resigning. So, and it seems like he's perfectly okay with not resigning because he knows every single team in the league will probably make him an offer. Like, let's just be honest. Every single team wants
yeah, he will probably get an offer from all 31 other
let's just be
teams.
every single team is on Mixell. Let's be honest, bro. Do you honestly believe he's like, yeah, I gotta stay in Edmonton. I want to be in Edmonton before any other place. Like, dude, just stop. Okay, he wants to go. Okay, and he's probably gonna go. If he becomes a Leaf, I don't know what I'm gonna say. Okay, I don't know if I should be. I don't know.
I think you should be ecstatic. I mean, that's one of the best. I know you don't think he's the best player in the league, but he's at least second behind McKinnon. If you think.
Okay, he is a great player. Okay, I have never said he's not a great player. Okay, he's a great player. Okay,
he's a superstar.
Yes, he's a superstar. He is probably the most skillful player we've ever seen in our lifetime. Okay, he's probably the most skillful. Okay, but all around player, no. Okay, let me just make that very clear. Mixell in Toronto, if it does happen, you will get a comment from me if it does happen. Okay, I will tell you how I feel. But all these rumors swirling around, I'm not gonna talk about it because I've already seen this movie.
You believe it when you see it.
Yeah, believe when I see. I've already seen. I see rumors about players going to other teams, and it never happens. Okay, so we're gonna leave it as I will comment on it if it does happen.
I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. I know for a fact if McDavid joins the Toronto Maple Leafs, you are going to be jumping out of your seat, and you are going to be one of the happiest people I've ever seen. I already know.
Okay, but again, if Mixell comes to Toronto, nothing changes because Morgan Riley's still here. Why?
I think you have a way better chance now that you have, in my opinion, the best player in the league on your team. I think that changes everything. As a one-two punch of McDavid and Matthews, I think can fucking balance out Morgan Riley.
Can it? Because Mixell and Draisaitl doesn't balance out Bouchard.
Bouchard's good though.
Okay, so how does Matthews and Mixell balance out Morgan Riley, even though he's trash?
William Nylander, Matthew Knies, John Tavares.
Zach had a 50-goal season. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is a 100-point player.
Yeah, was.
By the way.
I still think Nugent-Hopkins is that great. However,
he's
I think Knies and I think Nylander are better than both Hyman and Nugent-Hopkins personally. I think he's on a better. I think McDavid's going to a better offensive team because all the offense. Let's not forget all that offense was McDavid, Draisaitl. You take away McDavid and you put him on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's a very powerful team, right there. That power play is going to consist of Nylander, McDavid, Matthews, and Knies and JT. You don't even need a defenseman on there. I think with because considering the Leafs had really good defense and good goaltending last year, even with a lot of Riley's stupid plays, I think adding McDavid puts them in cup favorites maybe, because I think because Draisaitl and Matthews are different players. Matthews can worry about more of the defensive role while scoring, while McDavid could just put up all the offense. They've got a hell of a team if McDavid comes, and I'd be scared.
No. Which they do, which they would, but why are we just not talking about defense right now? Like, dude, we need a good defense.
Let me think. Let me ask you this: would you rather get
Yeah.
Adam Fox or like Dougie Hamilton type of defense, or McDavid next offseason? Would you rather get an
Probably
Adam?
McDavid.
Okay, fair. That's okay. So you'd rather get McDavid. So there's no point of
Okay.
worrying about the defense if you're going to get McDavid.
Bro. So we're just ignoring about Morgan Riley and him being trash, which is supposed to be our number one D man.
Listen,
Like we can't just ignore that. Like it's been we can't ignore that, bro. What are we talking about?
you could put him on like the
Again,
second pair.
every team that has won the cup has had a Norris-esque defender. Okay, we can go back probably 10 years. For the past 10 years, we've seen a Stanley Cup team have a Norris-esque defender. Okay, what are we talking about, bro?
So if they get McDavid, listen, if they get Connor McDavid and they don't go after a defenseman, let's say, do you think they win the Stanley Cup?
If we get Connor McDavid,
If they get Connor McDavid, do they win the Stanley Cup?
no,
Really interesting.
no,
Hmm.
no.
I think Stolarz and Wall are better than Stuart Skinner.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But you're still adamant on getting a defenseman.
Yes,
Would you be
I'm.
happy? Would you be happy if the Leafs trade for Dougie Hamilton or Adam Fox and not get McDavid? Would you be more confident in your team?
Would I be more confident in having Adam Fox?
Or Dougie
No,
Hamilton adding your blue line? So what? So
bro.
what? So what should the Toronto Maple Leafs do? What do you think they should do? Does that mean just getting
Okay,
rid of Riley?
okay.
Like
Listen,
what
okay,
do you think they should do? I want to hear what you think they should do.
and I need you to hear me out. Okay, now if the Leafs miss out, okay, because to be honest, I don't think we need McDavid to win the cup. Like we don't need McDavid. Again, it's proven teams can win without McDavid. We don't need him.
Well,
Okay,
actually,
sure. If he,
you're probably right considering if the Leafs got past Florida, they probably would have fought Edmonton for the cup, right?
yeah, maybe, but we don't know what would have happened.
I guess I'll never know.
Guess we'll never know. But what I'm saying is, we don't need McDavid. Teams don't need McDavid. We are perfectly fine without him. The only thing that is stopping us from going far in these playoffs is our defense. Okay, and my theory of having a Norris type of defender has been true ever since we started this podcast. Am I
Hmm.
right or am I right?
You're right, bro. You've been saying it this whole time that the Leafs needed defensemen.
So we clearly need a defender. Us getting McDavid doesn't change the fact that we still need a better defenseman than Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley cannot be your number one D man. Okay, if we get Adam Fox, which it's not going to happen. Like we're not getting Adam Fox. Okay. Um. Now there are speculation and rumors that Quinn Hughes might be wanting out of Vancouver. Okay, we've seen these for the past couple months. Now I'm telling you right now, Quinn Hughes is better than Adam Fox. Okay, let's just put it that way. Okay, now if the Leafs miss out, there's only a certain few defenders that I will take over Mixel. Okay, and that is Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar, and potentially Zach Werenski, but I'm not fully convinced yet. If the Leafs get Quinn Hughes, okay, instead of Connor McDavid, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that. I have no issues
I just don't
with
see
that.
Quinn Hughes going to Toronto, man. Like he's probably gonna go play with the with his brothers in New Jersey
I know,
before
but
Toronto.
I don't see Adam Foss coming to Toronto.
Well, Hamilton's been rumored for a bit.
Hamilton has been rumored for a bit, but the thing is, I don't know. Hamilton's been on a little bit of a decline.
Yeah.
I'm not fully sold on Dougie Hamilton.
Hmm.
Look, if we could talk about Connor McDavid coming to Toronto, I can speculate maybe Quinn Hughes as a Toronto Maple Leaf. If he leaves Vancouver, okay, let me just put it that way, because Quinn Hughes does everything, and Quinn Hughes is arguably top two D-man in the league.
I think he's
Okay,
top three.
everybody
Top three or two.
type two, yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, if we get McDavid, it doesn't change the fact that we still need a D-man. My preferred option would be getting a D-man, but if we get McDavid, then so be it. We get McDavid, but it's still not going to change my perspective as to us not getting a better D-man.
Fair enough. I mean, defense has been the main issue. Well, I mean, they imagine a trade where the Leafs send a bunch of guys, including Morgan Riley, for Quinn Hughes. That could be something. You never know.
What did you say?
I said,
you like?
I mean, the Leafs could probably maybe make a deal, including Morgan Riley, sending him to his hometown of Vancouver for Quinn Hughes. You never know. But I mean, listen, I think any fan base in the NHL would be ecstatic if Connor McDavid was signing a contract for their team. And I know deep down that you would be jumping out of your seat if that was to happen in Toronto. You don't want to admit it for the camera. You don't want to admit it for me. But I know you, and I know you would be ecstatic to have both Matthews and McDavid on your team.
You know.
I do.
Okay. All right.
So we'll see.
But again, we will be on the same podcast talking about it if it does happen, and you will see my reaction.
We will see.
Yeah.
We will see. But next year he's a free agent. I mean, the Oilers organization seems like they'll probably get it done. Does he want to win a cup? He does want to bring a cup to Edmonton, but I mean, he's been right there 2 years in a row now. Like,
yep.
And the organization has not done something about their biggest problem, which is their goaltending. Like, a Stanley Cup contending team doesn't switch goalies halfway through the playoffs and doesn't know who to start in the Stanley Cup final. Like, they didn't know if they were to start Pickard or Skinner in Game 5 to tie the series up. Or was it Game 4? Might have been Game 4 to tie the series up at 2. Do you know how insane that is? Like, how are we this deep in the season we don't know who's starting? So I can definitely see where McDavid's getting frustrated, but at the same time, I'd be pissed off too if I'm seeing Darnell Nurse getting $9.5 million. Like, where's the rest of the money going to go? Like, McDavid deserves to make the most money in the league or around there, but I don't know. They don't have enough money to spread around their lineup, so ultimately, I think McDavid has earned the status to dictate what he wants to do. If he wants to leave, I think you grant him his wish. He's given everything to the organization: 1,000 points at Conn Smythe, a couple Hearts, a Rocket Richard, more reward, the Ted Lindsays. He's given the organization everything but a Stanley Cup. But I have to think it's up to the organization, or it's up to McDavid to think, but I think it's the organization's fault for not giving him the proper tools, because he gave it most of his, he gave it all. He gave it all. And I think it's now time that McDavid, it's perfectly normal for a guy like McDavid who's been there for so long to think, you know what? Think about it. He's 28, going to be 29 soon or something like that. He's getting to 30. He's pushing 30. The window's starting to close.
Yeah,
he's getting up there in age, so his window's starting to close. Now, teams that I can see him going to, I don't think he stays in the Western Conference. I remember there was rumors after the Stanley Cup final he goes to Florida. There's no way he goes to Florida. There's no way. I think, for me, it's Toronto,
New York,
or the Rangers. Bang. Exactly. We were talking about their center problem. I think if Panarin does end up leaving, McDavid can definitely make his money in New York.
In MSG, bro. McDavid.
I think McDavid, I can just picture the Rangers getting the big fish. That is just, I don't know. That's just something.
That is so New York. If they don't if they don't get Sidney Crosby, whatever, they could just.
Gretzky went that route and played for the Rangers, right? The Rangers, they have a great goalie. They have a Norris type defenseman. They have guys like JT Miller, Zibanejad, players that can play, right? They've got a great team. Last year was just a bit iffy and whatever, but just imagine McDavid on that team. I could just see it's an original six. The jersey sales,
the
big market,
New York.
They'll pass the Leafs for most rich most rich team, the team that has the most money. If McDavid does go there, the amount of sales they're gonna get, Wild.
Yeah. I mean, dude, what is like one of the most historic arenas? MSG, Big Apple, New York City. Come on, dude. Like, I can already see it. Like, oh my god. Like,
But those are
and you know what's funny?
Mhm.
And if it does happen, we should go on Twitter on that same day and post this clip and be like, hey, like a year ago we actually talked about this, and we are like, hey, yeah, New York, it just made total sense. And honestly, I do believe the New York Rangers should be favored to land McDavid. Definitely not the Islanders though, because nobody wants to play in Long Island. So the New York Rangers. Yeah.
I just see it. 97 in a blue sweater. Oh man,
Yeah.
that would the city of New York, man, was super.
Oh,
Think about it, New York has its superstars, man, like the Knicks with Brunson, the Yankees with Judge, McDavid with the Rangers. I'm just saying, it's very possible that we can get that. We'll see. Now he's still got to play a whole season in Edmonton, but if I was to make a prediction, I think I think if he wins the cup with the Oilers this year, he leaves. I think
Yeah.
I think if they don't win the cup, he leaves. I don't think he stays an Oiler at all. I don't think so. Um, Now it's gonna hurt Draisaitl because he just signed an 8-year deal, right? He said I'm gonna stick with this team, but for McDavid, I think if the Oilers do shit this year, which could happen, he's leaving regardless.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's time.
I think we got to spark up the NHL with more star players leaving and going to different teams, and I think he's going to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
And for me,
Especially New York.
he comes to New York or Toronto. That's it. Two
Yeah.
original six teams, two of the richest fan base or franchises. We'll see. We still got a whole season to play. He could sign the extension tomorrow. We don't know. But nonetheless, let's move on to the Pacific Division preview. I think we should go through each team, talk about their additions, subtractions, and then just think where they're going to finish. Starting off, let's start off with the San Jose Sharks. I think we should start with a team like the Sharks. Up and coming team, drafted Michael Misa, made a bunch of draft picks like that. Celebrini going into his sophomore year. They signed a bunch of people. They got Nedeljkovic in net. They have Askarov from the Predators. They drafted Michael Misa. They got John Klingberg, Dmitry Orlov. Like they got some players. Will Smith coming into his second season. Like they got Ryan Reeves as well. Like, dude, the Sharks, they're definitely setting up Celebrini and Smith and now Misa for success. Like, don't be surprised in the next 5-6 years, they're going to dominate the Western Conference because those guys are heavily talented.
Yeah. I mean, they even got Kurashev, who's only 25 and can score. Like, I think we've seen 10, 15 plus goals already on a terrible Chicago Blackhawks team. Yeah, I mean, they still got a veteran guy in Toffoli there. They got Ryan Reeves, Klingberg, Jeff Skinner. They signed Jeff Skinner. They even got Willie Mecklin. I don't think they'll be pushing for a wild card spot, but I do think it will be relatively soon. This Sharks team is going to be a tough. It's going to be a force sooner rather than later. So I do believe that they will finish last this season in the Pacific, but I think it will be the final season that they finish last in the Pacific for quite some time, actually, because I think they're going to take a huge step this year, but I think there's just obviously 7 better teams than them. But man, the Sharks team with their fire teal jerseys, by the way, absolutely love those. I think
sexy.
they will fit.
They got some sexy jerseys, I will say. But yeah,
but I think this will be the final season that they finish last place, and the Sharks fans should be excited for what's to come.
I agree. I agree with you. I think 8th is probably the safe bet. I think they're not playoff ready yet. I think they'll do what the Chicago Blackhawks did. I just don't see them making the playoffs this year. A lot of development from Celebrini. He got injured last year. Could have been close to a point per game, if not a point per game, if he stayed. He was really good last year. Will Smith also really good last year. Askarov in net, he can definitely like thrive having that net to himself now. And bringing in those guys to basically mentor these young guys and get them ready for the future. I think last place is a fair bet though. They're not there quite just yet. They will be better than Chicago, I will tell you that. Next team, I think we'll stick with California. Oh,
How many points does Macklin Center Celebrini get this year?
70.
70? Yeah.
I think 70.
Yeah,
I think 70 is fair. Maybe 65,
I mean,
but he's definitely going to be in the 65 to 70 point range. Maybe 75.
yeah, I mean, all the plays are going to go through him, right? So he kind of has to get the points, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, even though the Sharks are still kind of trash, if they are if like they're definitely going to be like on like 10:30, and if I'm off the work the next day, I will probably be tuning in
Or
because
if
like
they
they
play the
were definitely,
Leafs. Or if they play the Leafs.
like the Sharks are like a fun team to watch. So I will definitely be tuning
Yeah, I mean
in. I'm like, okay,
they beat the Leafs both times last year, right?
here, right? So
Who knows?
who knows?
Who knows?
They're
Let's
good.
let
They're exciting and they're going to give up a ton of goals. So that's just fun hockey right there. I'm like, okay, let me watch that. No,
let's stick in California and move on to another up and coming team, the Anaheim Ducks. Ooh, these
damn.
what?
Oh, oh, sorry. Nothing. I thought you were gonna say something. Never mind.
Another up and coming team in the in California, the Anaheim Ducks. I mean, what an offseason they had. One of the busier teams. John Gibson, obviously, getting traded to the Detroit Red Wings. They ended up getting back Peter Mrazek. Um, they traded Trevor Zegras, right? They traded Trevor
Yep.
Zegras also. But they did acquire Chris Kreider. They got Michael Granlund as well, a guy, who's been moving around teams pretty often. Joe Quenneville. Joe Quenneville is back to coaching in the National Hockey League. He will
Yeah.
be coaching this Anaheim Ducks team. I mean, wow, that's interesting. Obviously, I mean they lost Brian Dumoulin to the Devils, John Gibson to the Red Wings, and Trevor Zegras to the Flyers. They ended up getting Ryan Pilling and returned some picks, but I don't know, man. The Anaheim Ducks, like, I mean, they have a disgusting forward core of like Carlson, McTavish, guys like that. The D as well, Pavel Mitnyakov as well, like Jackson
As
Lacombe,
Walker,
Zellweger, like
Lacombe.
that, and then Lucas Dostal. He's getting into form. Like that team looks good, Justin. Like I will say, like I'm very impressed with that team.
Yeah. Uh, I think it's gonna be a tough division for them to compete in. They are getting better though. Um, oh, this is hard for me personally because I do want to put them as like one of those like surprise teams to push for the playoffs and maybe potentially make the wild card, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I do have them finishing sixth in the Pacific Division. I think there are two teams worse than them in this Pacific Division, but I think next year the Anaheim Ducks will be a playoff team in the 2026-2027 season. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's fair enough. I think the Ducks. I think there's four better teams than them. I have them fifth. I think they're going to make a really good push for the playoffs. They're definitely going to compete for the wild card, I will say, but they won't
okay,
they won't be there yet. They look really good, and I think like adding those guys like Kreider, adding Granlund, I think those like even Trouba on the back end, they've got guys now that can like I mean
oh, Buddhist.
look at guys like Lacombe and Mitnyakov as well. That decor is looking really nice. So I think the Ducks
Yeah,
can definitely they'll definitely push for wild card. I think this it's their time now. They've been out of the playoff picture for a while. I think now it's
yeah.
time that they at least get maybe 10 points or top 10 5 points out of a playoff spot this year. I think there's three worse teams than them, and I already listed the Sharks. So we will.
Um,
What do you think?
I think one of their problems is depth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be a major concern going into the season, which I do think will probably ultimately be the reason why they missed the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this is what you said, like the defense core. I mean, like Udis, Truba, Zellweger,
Macomb.
McComb, Minto. It's like, okay, dude, like, oh my god, like, bro, you can stop split over to Toronto, bro. Like, please, like, bro, just prospects, bro. Damn, man. But I mean, like, yeah. Ducks fans, they should be excited. But not this year yet. But I definitely think next year they will be in a wild card spot. But no,
Let's move along to the Kraken, the Seattle Kraken. Um, you know, I've never been a fan of this team since they came into the league. They made playoffs is it their second year or first year? Did they make it first year? I don't.
first, second season.
I was one of them. I think they missed first year because I remember we had a debate that they were gonna make it or not, and I was right because they did it. And then they made it the next year and beat the no, did they beat the Avalanche? They did beat the Avalanche. That was the year they beat the
Yeah,
Avalanche.
yeah.
The year they didn't make it is when Colorado won. They knocked the Avalanche out. But ever since then, they've just been a team that's just, eh,
We're just mid.
they're just mid. But they did sign Brandon Montour to an extension, I believe. Um, Chandler Stevenson, they got him. Mason Marchment as well, another big player. They did trade like Justin Schultz is gone. Brian Dumoulin got traded to the Ducks and then got traded there. And then Bjorkstrand got sent to Tampa Bay. New coach, your favorite, Lane Lambert, former assistant Leafs coach, is now going to be coaching the Seattle Kraken. Dave Haxall was relieved of his duties after a poor season. Oh man, Seattle for me, man. Like they have
They're
prospects.
boring.
Like they're boring. They have sick away jerseys. I will give them that. But other than that, like no one's scared to go to Climate Pledge Arena. Like they're slaughtering the Kraken every single time a team goes in there. It's just like
Yeah, and that stupid name, Climate Pledge Arena. Who came up with that name?
mm-hmm, exactly.
Climate Pledge Arena. Trash name, mid team. You guys are gonna be finishing seventh in
Yep.
the Pacific. My goodness, nothing is going on in Seattle. I mean, like, dude, yeah, you have Decord, but how long is Decord gonna be? Like, he's done well the past 2 seasons, but come on, like, let's just be honest. Like, how good is Decord actually gonna be? Like, how consistent is he gonna be year by year? Um, Stevenson, who signed not this year but the year before, he didn't really do much last year, and he got a complete bag. I think it was like 6.25.
Yeah.
There's really nothing to talk about. Like, sure, you have Vince Dunn and Brandon Montour on the back end, but like, sure, Jared McCann, but
I mean, McCann, I feel like can get traded.
he could. I mean, like, I don't see the Kraken fighting for a playoff spot, and I mean, I do have to finish in seventh, so the Kraken are just boring. Like, ew, you know. Climate Pledge Arena, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think seventh is fair enough for me. They're not that great. Um, yeah,
Seventh
man.
too.
I think seventh. I think seventh.
Yeah.
I really think seventh is where they're gonna finish. We'll see. I mean, we have listen. If they're gonna have any shot at like competing at some point, Shane Wright has to like be in the lineup consistently and play well. Like that guy that guy was like, oh, I deserve to go first overall, and then does absolutely fucking nothing. And then he does
talking all that smack.
Talking all that smack. You know, Montreal should have drafted me. Meanwhile, you do absolutely nothing. I'm sorry, man. Like you talk the talk and couldn't walk the walk. Been in the AHL your whole career. Like, sorry, mate. Especially because he was like, he was getting compared to like, a lot of great players before his draft, and he was expected to go first, and like 3-4 teams passed on him, which honestly looks to me it was worth it. So he needs something to prove, and if they have any shot of going anywhere, he needs to do something. So for me, the Kraken, not the greatest team. They will finish seventh above the Sharks. Moving on. The last non-playoff team, in my opinion, the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver Canucks, I'll tell you right now, they finished below the Ducks and finished sixth, in my opinion.
Damn.
Yeah.
But below
I am not the biggest fan of the Vancouver Canucks. To me, after last season, left a bad taste in my mouth with the Pedersen deal, with everything that
Yeah.
happened with Miller. Like, I don't know, man. Like, they're never going to get going if Pedersen's going to be this trash. Okay, that dude signs at 11.5, 11.6 million dollar, whatever you want to, whatever number it was. Okay, you JT Miller, the so-called cancer, is out of the team. He's not there anymore, and you still proceed to do absolutely nothing with a great coach like Rick Tocchet. He's now gone. You don't have Rick Tocchet anymore. Rick Tocchet for me was probably the main reason they made playoffs 2 years ago. I remember when he first came into to the team, they were way out of the playoff picture. They fired Boudreau. They brought Talk in, and Talk got these guys playing some fun hockey. The next year, ended up winning the Pacific Division. Like, does it get any like better than that? And then all of a sudden now, like there's locker room issues, and the team's just in shambles. Notable signings: they re-signed Brock Besser to a 7-year, $50.75 million contract. Forget what that evens out to, but it's a pretty decent number. Was it like 7-8 mil?
Something like that. Yeah. It was-
They acquired hometown player Evander Kane from the Canucks, or sorry, from the
Okay,
Oilers. I
that's not.
mean, that doesn't to me. That's Evander Kane's very wish-washy. He had that great
Yeah.
run in the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs where he scored like 10, 15 goals. A full
Yeah.
year of Philip Hedl in on that team. I like Hedl. He's a great player in my opinion. I think he's a solid third line piece that can help drive that team. But I mean, losing Dakota Joshua, JT Miller, like for a whole year, that guy was your point producer, right? For me, the Canucks just they're not it. They're like they don't have that pizzazz, and with Quint Hughes already being rumored to leave, like I don't think he sees the team going anywhere. Are they a team that can contend? I don't think so. Goaltending wise, Demko's never healthy, so you can never have
Yeah.
a great elite goaltender like that. Do you? I don't even know. I think Seelov's got traded, right? So I don't think he's even on the team anymore. So it's probably a lot of the dudes are gonna be on Lankinen right now. So I don't know, man. I don't see the Canucks like defend if I look at the Ducks, I think the Ducks have better goaltending with Dostal. I think they have better defense. I mean, Quinn Hughes is on the team, but I still think overall the Ducks have better defense.
Overall, defensively, yeah, I know what you
Exactly.
mean.
And then, maybe forward star power. Like, if Pedersen's going to play the way he is, man, like, who's crazy to tell me Anaheim's going to be a better team than them with all the players
Yeah.
that they have? It all relies on this guy who makes all the money, like 11.5 million bucks to do something. He
Yeah.
has to. Otherwise, the team's going nowhere. But for me, and I think that's the case, they're going to regress and they're going to get worse. And eventually, probably going to trade a bunch of their star players like Pedersen and like Hughes. And this is going to be the season's going to be the start of it. And I see the finishing sixth in the division.
Yeah, I have them finishing fifth, ahead of the Anaheim Ducks. But no playoffs though. I will make that very clear. Canucks finish fifth, but no playoffs. Canucks, I am not sold on. With all the Quinn Hughes rumors potentially leaving, Demko being always injured, forward core losing depth pieces like a Dakota Joshua. Uh, yeah, sure they were, they got Philip Hedl in there, but like, I'm just not sold on Vancouver. Elias Pettersson, I'm giving him one more season, and if he does not do well this season, um, wow, that's just a big head scratcher right there for Canucks front management and for Canucks fans because what happened to Elias Pettersson? Um, yeah, I think they'll have a mediocre season. I think they'll miss the playoffs. They'll push for a wild card, but I think they will ultimately miss it. Um, yeah, I mean, Quinn Hughes is really going to keep that team afloat and battling for a playoff spot if he can stay healthy. But I think they will just miss out by probably about 5-10 points.
Exactly. But for me, I just think they're going to be a lot worse I think than last year. And I think the Ducks are a better team. Okay, let's move on to playoff teams. The first team I have 4 teams in here and 4 teams in the other division making playoffs.
Yep.
Calgary Flames are making playoffs. Let's talk about them. I like this team, especially Dustin Wolf. Just signed a brilliant contract, 7 times 7.5. It's really good for a starting goaltender. Who you got? for years and years and years and years. I love the Calgary Flames right now. The team's got great vibes. You know, they've had some entertaining games. They've got some great players. I want to see Huberdeau take a step. I want to see Morgan Frost take a step. Kadri, you know, putting the team on his back scoring wise. Only question is Rasmus Anderson. Now he's going to be in our UFA next year, so he's eligible to sign an extension now, but we don't know, right? Depending on how the team does. I think the Flames this year are going to be better than last year. They were really, I mean, they won like 4 in a row, like at the end of the season. It was just because of, you know, St. Louis and Minnesota. They missed out on 1 point. They weren't even like the 16th team in the league or 17th team. They were like 14th. They were ahead of some of the teams in the Eastern Conference points wise. If it was 1 to 16, they would have made playoffs. They were up there. They were right there for the playoff push. They beat Vegas, like they shut out Vegas like 3-0 or came back. I think they were down 2-0 in their last season game against Vegas and came back and won 3-2 and still didn't make playoffs. How heartbreaking is that? By missing out by 1 point behind the shitty Wild or the shitty Blues just to lose in Game 7 to the Jets. I think they honestly would have beat the Jets if they played them. But nonetheless, the Flames, I mean, I'm liking this. I'm liking the way they are, and I think they're going to make playoffs. I have them 4th. What do you think?
I have them going third, actually. I think they will be third in the Pacific. I like them. I do like what they did last year with the trades. I mean, the name from Philly,
Morgan Frost,
yeah. Morgan Frost. Yeah,
Joel Farabee as well.
Morgan Frost. Yes, I do like the. I do like those additions. I think vibes are high. Honestly, I think they're missing out by a point. I think they could look back on that season and be like, okay, where did we go wrong? But I think, dude, they didn't even go through a rebuild. They went through a perfectly good retool, and where they didn't have to go through a full on rebuild, and they've done exceptionally well. That I think they will be right back in that playoff hunt, and I think they will be top 3 in that Pacific division. Rasmus Anderson still question mark, but I think they re-signed him. I think they get it done. Uyghur's still there. Yeah, I mean Dustin Wolf's going to be there for a while. The forward core I like. I do really like that forward core. I got to be honest. I think they added great pieces. Frost and Farabee. Farabee is a 20-goal scorer, by the way, who could score 20 goals. River Frost can chip in with probably 10, 15 goals. So I do like those pieces. Flames got some sick jerseys as well. I love the jerseys.
I love those red ones. Those red ones are just so nice.
Fire jerseys. Saddle Dome still a little iffy on their stadium, but yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, Flames third. Yeah, they've done a tremendous job retooling, no rebuild, and yeah, I think Flames fans should be ecstatic about this season, man. Like, there's no reason. I honestly, with the Pacific, to me, the Pacific is a weak division. I don't really see them missing the playoffs, and there shouldn't really be an excuse for them to miss the playoffs. Yeah, like they're either going to become top 3 or first wild card. Yeah, I don't see them missing the playoffs with that good of a team that they've put together. Last season and this year.
Let's move along. Let's go to, I don't know. Do we want to talk about? Let's go with it. Let's go with LA. Let's switch up. Let's get out of Alberta for a bit and go to beautiful California again, Los Angeles. These guys, I mean, they faced Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl for 4 years in a row, so it's been tough. If they ended up beating them, maybe they would have went far. I don't know, but we said it. I mean, we said it last year. This is their time, but I don't know. I think this year they are going to come second in their division. I think they'll do really well. Darcy Kemper, I think, will be okay. They brought in Anton Forsberg to back him up. Automatic Stanley Cup final because Corey Perry's signed a 1-year deal. So he will be playing with the L.A. Kings. They signed Armia from the Habs, Cody Ceci and Brian Dumoulin as a D pair. Solid, not bad. I like Dumoulin, not so much. Ceci, okay, not too bad. And then re-signing Kuzmenko to a 1-year team-friendly extension, losing Jordan Spence in a weird trade to the Senators. I mean, that was interesting. But, and Gavrikov going to the Rangers as well. That's another loss right there. But I still think the Kings are a good team. It's probably Kopitar's last go at it before he retires. I think he might be done after this year. And I think he's going to have a good season to end off his career. And I think the team is going to do still really well. I think Kuzmenko's going to play well. You got Kempe as well, Byfield, guys like that, are going to do really well. Brant Clark on defense going to probably start running the power play more. I still think that team could, make playoffs, and I think come second this time. Maybe even push for the division title, but you never know. The Pacific's pretty weak, right? But I think second is fair.
Yeah, I have them actually going fourth. Um,
Behind Calgary, interesting.
Behind Calgary, I think the Flames do have a better season. I really like their top six. I do really like the Kings top six with Kopitar and Byfield and Fiala, Kempe, Kuzmenko, Kuzmissile. But I their defense is kind of what's worrying me. They lost Gavrikov, who's kind of a big piece. They pretty much replaced them with like Dumoulin and Cody Ceci, which I'm not really a big fan of. Um, they did lose Jordan Spence as well, which I'm not really sure why that happened. Brant Clark is good. Drew Doughty's getting older in age, but injuries, I don't really know how that's gonna go. Yeah, their defense to me is a question mark, just by how good they'll be and the injury past. I do think they'll finish fourth. I think their depth might be an issue. And I think their goaltending. No, not their goaltending. Their defense might be somewhat of an issue, depending on how healthy they will be. But yeah, I think they'll become fourth. And playoffs, oof. I think they make it by the skin of their teeth.
Really? Like by 1 or 2 points?
Yeah, by like 1 or 2 points. I don't know. I do believe they kind of regressed this offseason. I gotta be honest. I'm not really high on the Dumoulin and Cody Ceci yet. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm not a fan. And you lose Jordan Spence and Jordan Spence and Gavrikov. I'm just not. Defense literally got worse. I'm like, okay, dude. Like, good job, Holland. Because I'm pretty sure Ken Holland is the GM now. I'm like, yeah, okay, good job, Ken
He
Holland.
is, yeah. He is. So,
Okay, dude.
but
So yeah, I think they'll become fourth, and yeah, playoffs. Probably, I'll say second wild card. Actually, I'll say second.
oof, wow, interesting. Okay. We got two more teams left. Let's move on to the Edmonton Oilers because I think we both know where we have the Golden Knights finishing. But I want to talk about the Oilers. Signing Mangiapane, not bad. Really random, but acquiring Isaac Howard, really, like, he just won the Hobey Baker, like, in his last season. Trent Frederick re-signed, Kasperi Kapanen, Curtis Lazar they ended up getting, but losing guys like Vander Kane, Arvidsson, Klingberg, Corey Perry as well, you know, I don't know. I think the Oilers, like, I think their days of competing for the like winning, going to the Stanley Cup final are done. I don't think they make it to the Cup final this year. I think somebody knocks them out pretty early in the playoffs, and I think it's the Kings. I think the Kings knocked them out in the playoffs because they'll play third. I think finally, after this will be the fifth season they play in the first round, I think the Kings will finally beat Edmonton. I said it, I don't know, 2 years in a row, and I was wrong, and they went to the Stanley Cup final. I think Corey Perry is going to score the game-winning goal against the Oilers and knock them out of the playoffs. But I don't know, man. I'm not high on the Oilers this year. I'm really not, especially McDavid's playing on a contract year, so he could put up like 150 points if he wants to. You never know. You never know. Contract years are always crazy, but
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm not high on this team at all. I'm really not. I think they come third in the division, maybe fourth if Calgary's playing better than them. But I would not mind seeing a Battle of Alberta in the first round. That would be pretty interesting.
yeah. I have them going second. I do have Battle of Alberta happening this year. I just man, Edmonton, they got worse, and I don't really know how they are going to bounce back after back-to-back consecutive Stanley Cup Finals losses, and with the whole McDavid saga. I would assume they want to get this done before the season, but if it leads into the season, that could be a distraction for the team. Um, yeah, but I think they are still good enough to become second in the division. Again, the division is pretty weak, so especially when you guys have McDavid and Draisaitl, second place doesn't seem too far fetched. And yeah, I mean, it's second place, and I think we're gonna get a Battle of Alberta. Yeah,
Now let's. I mean, I don't know about Battle of Alberta, but we'll see. Um, last match or last team. Oh, and we know where these guys are finishing. The Vegas Golden Knights, gold for a reason. First place, these guys are going to finish. Oh my goodness. You know, they were good last year. They played Edmonton. Unfortunate. But I think they could address goaltending. That's the only thing. That's the only thing holding this team back. But the offense, with now Mitch Marner coming into play, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mitch Marner is a Golden Knight. I know you're happy about that. I wrote an article for the Hockey News talking about Marner's chances of being an MVP. It's not out of the question. It's not out of the question. I think he could thrive with a guy like Eichel in a smaller, I guess, smaller market, or a market where you're not going to get the media down your throat, threatening your family. Right? So we'll see if that changes the way Marner plays, because if he has a bad game, no one's going to care. You play for Vegas. Everyone's gambling and drinking anyway. But, wow. The Golden Knights, man. Whew. That team, like, probably the best team since they won the Stanley Cup, adding Mitch Marner into play. He's going to play with Jack Eichel. He's got Mark Stone. He's got Barbashev. The defense is really good. My only concern is goaltending. I mean, Samsonov and Hill. I mean, Hill's okay. I would love for them to get a better goalie, but I think with that offense, I mean, what's that power play looking like? Theodore, Stone, Marner, Eichel, and Barbashev. Oh my God, that's.
You don't trust Hill?
What's that?
You don't trust Aiden Hill?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Who won the Cup? Was it Aiden Hill?
It was Aiden Hill.
Oh.
It was Aiden Hill.
What's your name?
I don't know, man. He's getting.
What's wrong with him?
Yeah, he's like, okay, he's not like a top, like, he's not like an elite goalie. He's like a BC tier. I don't know.
He's like good.
He's good,
but he's not like great.
He's not great, exactly, right? Like, I feel like
good.
He's good, but he's not great. But
he's good. He's not A.
Yes, exactly. I love that team now. Marner on that team, he's gonna fit so perfectly. I remember, I don't know, I swear, like, if we roll the clips back, I remember saying something like, if Marner was going to leave, he was going to go to Vegas or Carolina. Like, I remember I said he could be in a Vegas Golden Knights jersey, and here we are in Here we are in September. He is now in a Vegas Golden Knights jersey and will be making his debut wearing number 93, like he wore with the London Knights. Oh yeah, this team's finishing first in the division. They're gonna steamroll. Through. They're gonna steamroll through. I think either Eichel or Marner will be in MVP conversations this year. Either one. I might lean towards Marner because he's got a lot to prove, but Eichel's also an elite player, right? So we'll see. Yeah. But there's no question, nothing to really discuss other than how dominant Vegas looks.
Yeah. They're going to steamroll that Pacific Division. I do believe Eichel has a better chance of winning the MVP other than Marner, only because Eichel is capable of scoring 40-plus goals, contract year as well. So you already know how that's going to play out. You already know he's going to put up potentially like 95 points for Eichel. Eichel's going to have the time of his life getting set up by Marner. By the way, am I tripping, or has Eichel just never played with a guy like Marner before?
He hasn't.
Has ever played with a guy with like the caliber of Marner?
Okay, well let's think.
Because
let's think. In Buffalo, Sam Reinhart was not the player he is now. Okay.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
Thompson, I don't think was there yet. They traded Tuck for Eichel, so Tuck wasn't there. He had Jeff Skinner. He had Jeff Skinner, Evander Kane, and Ryan O'Reilly, but not the. And then in Vegas the past couple of years, Mark Stone maybe, but like not close to what. Yeah, exactly, but not close to what Mitch Marner can do. So I think he's now gonna play with someone who can get 100 points and is probably one of the best passers in the league.
Yeah. So honestly, I might take Eichel MVP odds on Bet365 or something, because bro, I'm telling you right now, Eichel's gonna have the time of his life playing with a guy who could just set him up every game. He could score. He honestly, like, I'm just gonna put my hand. Eichel could score 50 this year if he just stays healthy. Like, Eichel is gonna have, like, oh my goodness, bro, he's gonna have the best time of his life in Vegas. Marner by his side, Barbashev there, power play, absolutely gonna destroy everyone in that trash division. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you right now, man. Vegas are just so dominant. And it's like Vegas like is always one of the teams like when the Leafs play, I'm like, okay, automatic loss. Like I already know how this is gonna end. Like Vegas is just one of the teams that I hate seeing on the schedule. Like, oh my god. And I now with Marner there, it's like, okay,
And
here we
I
go again.
can't wait for Marner's first game as a Golden Knight in Toronto on a
Yep.
Friday night. We got to try and get last minute
Yep.
tickets to that. I think we have to try and see that game. Oh
We have to.
man, because we could be the first. We can witness Marner getting a hat trick. Oh man,
Anytime
oh man,
goal score is automatic.
anytime goal score is oh my, oh bro, the bets are gonna hit. The bets are gonna hit. Oh lord, holy! But wow, I mean, can you imagine in Marner's first season they win the Stanley Cup? Like dude, like Marner's revenge tour, like we'll start this year, and Vegas could win the cup. They're clearly cup contenders in the, especially like in the West. Like it's,
Yeah.
I like them.
100%.
I like them more than Colorado. I think I like them more than the Avalanche, and maybe
More than
Dallas. Like
Colorado.
I don't know about Dallas, man. Like Edmonton's been taking them out quicker and quicker, and then if we think Vegas is going to steamroll the division, like I don't think like Dallas is Ottinger, but other than that, they don't really like. To me, there's no team in the West that competes with Vegas.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Vegas is better than Dallas. I'll give you that. But Colorado, I'm not so sure. Only because I'm giving goaltending to Colorado. Mackenzie Blackwood's better than Aiden Hill. I'm gonna just put that out there, okay? Like let's just be for real. Um, Colorado's defense. I mean, Devontae's and Kel McCarr is like arguably the best defensive duo in the NHL. I mean, like it's just Devontae's and Kel McCarr. Like, what are we talking about? Offense though, I might give to Vegas actually because they have better depth than the Colorado. Yes, yes.
So I think for
Top six,
yeah.
you can't compare the top six 100%. But I think depth wise, Vegas has the edge, which gives me Vegas forward court over Colorado.
So it might most likely, like if we were to get a conference final, we could get Colorado Dallas, hypothetically. That would be interesting. I think that would.
Yeah,
I think that would be really good. Like Marner and Eichel versus McKinnon McCarr. That would be a great series.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to see that.
But
You're trying to see that.
but yeah, like Vegas, man, like I think that like that's their division, and that could be their conference. That could be their conference
Yeah.
too. We're not putting the Winnipeg Jets in play in cup contention.
Okay.
For everybody that's wondering about our take on the Jets. We will get to the Jets when we talk about the shitty Central Division next. But
Is it really that bad? Is the Central Division really that bad? I look. I'll give you this. The Central Division is more competitive than the Pacific Division.
yeah, but you know what the Central Division is? It's just mid competing with mid and mid and mid and mid. We already know the elite. We already know it's Dallas, Colorado top two. Like we don't even have to like talk about it. The rest of it is just I don't know, man. I really don't. Kaprizov wants to leave his team. Like what are we
It's
talking?
literally the two great teams and then just good teams. It's just B tier teams.
I'm
You
not.
know?
I don't know. I don't know, mate. We'll get to that next podcast. But Vegas first overall, first in the division. You think?
Yeah.
Should we give them the Y or should we give them the Z?
I will give them the Y. Yes, I'll give them the Y.
Okay, so second in the Western Conference, first in the division. Okay, I don't know yet. I have to see how Colorado is once we do the analysis. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Age of Sports Podcast. We're on sitting on an hour 15 minutes, close to that now. Hopefully you enjoyed. We will be back next week. We're going to try and do one a week. Hopefully, got to get some TikToks going as well. Get some shorts going. Try and grow this stuff. But hopefully you enjoyed. Justin and I love doing this, and yeah, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time for the next division.
Next week.
We are here. It's hockey season is less than a month away. The Leafs play hockey in like 15 days.
In less than 2 weeks, actually, preseason starts. I'm most certain.
Yeah, so we will be seeing these teams play. So look forward to that. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care. Peace. Have a good night. and we'll see you next time.